Good afternoon, students. This is your Shomi ma'am. In my last video, students, I have discussed with you about the party system. I gave you an introduction and I have also discussed with you about the challenges before democracy. Now, today we are going to begin from the evolution of party system in India. In India, the party system was inaugurated in 1885. The Indian National Congress was founded in 1885. At that time, the entire Indian society had organized itself under the banner of Congress. In fact, Congress was known as the umbrella organization. It consisted of people from all castes, religion, community, and ideas. Though Gandhiji had advised for dissolution of Congress after attainment of independence as its objective had been fulfilled, however, his followers did not agree to this advice, and the country passed into the hands of Congress. Thus, the Indian National Congress emerged as a political party after 1947. The party transformed from a mass movement into a nationalist political party under the leadership of Nehru after 1947. It began as a pressure group petitioning the government for political and administrative reforms. In fact, after 1920s, the Congress became a mass membership party, alternating between the use of strategies of mass mobilization under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi and contesting elections to provincial and national legislature. From 1935, with the introduction of provincial self-government, the Congress began the third change towards the governing party in the majority of provinces of British-ruled India. The Congress Party represents a decentralized structure as interests of local and state officials made the core of public policy. The development path adopted through the system of 5 years plan by Congress in Indian politics represented the core ideology of the Congress leaders. Now, the era of one-party dominance began with Lok Sabha election in 1952. Last day, I already discussed with you that the first election, it finally took place from November 1951 and it continued till February 1952. So, this era of one-party dominance, it began with the Lok Sabha election of 1952 itself. When the first Lok Sabha election took place, under suspense and anxiety, people from both the rural and urban areas responded well to the new relationship between Congress, society and government. Okay. Now children, we will discuss about the first three general elections and also about the dominance of Congress party. The first three general elections were held in the year 1952, 57 and in 62. The 1952 election saw a large mass of ignorant and illiterate mass responding to the election. No one was sure actually how the rural and the illiterate masses would respond to this wholly new ceremony in the relationship between government and society. But the response was quite tremendous. In fact, the Congress won the elections. Now, this era was characterized by the monopoly of Congress at the center, along with the existence of smaller opposition parties also. In fact, in the year 1952's election, Congress won around 45% of vote share, 74.3% seats. Congress got around 364 votes or 364 seats out of 489 seats. And the Communist Party, which came next, it got only 16 seats. The state elections were held along with the Lok Sabha. The Congress scored bigger victories even in these elections. It got a majority in the state beside Travancore, that is in Cochin, okay, and Madras and Orissa. But the Congress, it formed the government in these states also. The Congress was a dominant party at national and state level. In fact, in the year 1957's election also, Congress won with 47.8% vote and 75.1% of the seats. Similarly, in the same way, in the year 1962 also, Congress won over around 44.7% vote and over 73.1% of the seats. There was a wide gap in the popular vote share and the seat share of Congress and the other opposition parties. The electoral strength of the Congress during these three elections was due to the institutional strength of the party, basically. The Congress system, it allowed the district leaders to distribute patronage and incorporate the social groups at the local level. Not only that, the party also gave space to various factors to compete within the party. Aggregating and aggravating mass preferences also provided a vital link between the people and the government, facilitating popular sovereignty. Now, during this time, students, the three phases of election, it helped the Congress in the first three general election. The party system evolved from an identifiable political strength that emerged in the country in the decades before independence, in fact. The Indian National Congress had unique political accomplishment. The principle guided the nation, in fact. The Congress party had inherited a vast and enriched legacy from the nationalist struggle. Not only that, it also gave its goodwill, and from that it could draw political mileage. Some of the party leaders like Nehru, Shastri were quite popular for spending years in jail and other deprivations they endured. The legacy of the nationalist movement helped, in fact, helped the National Congress for coherence and unity in the wake of party's internal pluralism. The Congress was only a grassroots organization which existed at the time of its existence. Its federal structure had a basis on internal democracy. The Congress, in fact, was able to dominate because it was able to adjust to the local circumstances. The internal democracy in the party and the electoral gains of Congress helped them to adjust to the changes in local balance of power. Not only that, the party also served as a channel to form the local condition to party hierarchy. Now, India, like the other countries, also witnessed dominance from one party, and that was this Indian National Congress. I told you, in all the three elections, Congress dominated the entire election process of India. Okay, the dominance of Congress was due to its policies, or due to, you can say, it was due to its legacies of colonial struggle. Okay, now that helped the Congress to dominate in the democratic system as opposed to the monopoly of one parties in the states like China, Cuba, etc. At the state level also, the Congress was a predominant party. Intra-party dynamics were also used in the central key of policy outcome. In case of Congress, intra-party dynamics had two key components: relationship between competing factors within each state and relationship between provincial and national leaderships. The long-drawn experience of mobilizing people, political representation, and operation of political parties helped in the evaluation of a steady party system after independence. As a result, at the state level, the Congress had uneven dominance due to the existence of so many parties, most of which were regional. Okay. However, it helped the Congress to get majority in many of the states, but it failed to do so in Orissa, Kerala, and some of the other states. While the Congress dominated at the national level, its dominance at the state level was uneven, or in fact shaky, we can also say, due to the existence of large number of political parties. Okay, so today up to this, next day I will begin from formation of the coalition government. Till then, thank you and have a good day.